with our next presentation of the day. 10 years of national certification. Wow, I can't believe it's been 10 years already. And I am very pleased to present our next speaker, Xiomara Armas. I have the pleasure of working with her very closely within the National Board. She's been a certified Spanish medical interpreter since 2011, and she has been working in Children's Healthcare of Atlanta for 15 years as a medical interpreter with a deep interest in family education for medical conditions. And in fact, she's so good at it that she won Golden Apple Award back in 2010 for her contribution. So let's give her a big round of applause. Welcome, Xiomara.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here today. And thank you so much for IMIA and Dr. Cardona, who invited us to make this presentation celebrating the 10 years anniversary of certification. Yes, indeed, we are celebrating that one day like this in October 2009, the National Certification for Medical Interpreters was born. We'll be traveling back in time for a little bit, just to talk about those fearless professionals who made certification possible for all of us, especially those interpreters who early in those years adopted the certification immediately. And we'll be talking about the present, but mainly for the future, for all medical interpreters out there waiting and ready to take the next step. This is a wonderful picture I wanted you to see, because this is in the 2009 IMIA conference, where the National Medical Interpreter Certification was officially launched. The people that you see in this picture were instrumental in its creation. Please allow me to take you for a quick travel back in time. Let me show you this video for a second.
Thank you, Nova, and thank you to all my distinguished colleagues. Is everybody ready to get certified? Let's go, yeah! Okay, this process is fine and forward. And most people will be paid.
Oh my goodness, okay, no, I just want to stop. And now with fireworks. Okay, I just wanted to show you this incredible video, just to show you this is my beautiful friend Linda Joyce in 2009 announcing how fun was that? I love Linda's face when she was so surprised for everything. She didn't know that there were fireworks ready. So she was like, okay, she shows. What about her? Let's go, yeah! Yes, it was so exciting by then, and we are still excited, let me tell you, for all we have done and we have to do yet. So there is so many visionaries, leaders, or the fearless that I call them, that we are so grateful for, because it was for their vision and strength and enthusiasm to keep fighting for this dream that we are celebrating here today. We don't have enough time to talk about all of them, but we have to name some of the visionaries at that time. Over on the left, we have Linda Joyce and Isabel Souza here in the picture at the Maryland conference this year with one of our national board directors, Evelyn La Paz. Linda and Isabel are being pillars of the certification because they were so deep into the process. Linda was, by that time, a state chapter chair for the West Virginia State, and IMIA board director. And Isabel was the IMIA president. These both visionaries had been believers then and supporters today to the National Board mission. In 2011, Linda came to the National Board as executive director and then the certification and testing director. Juana Horton, then to the right, carried on as IMIA president after Isabel left. Now, Juana Horton is a national board director as a IMIA representative. Then we have Nelva Lee, a founder of the Medical Interpreter and Translator Institute Online, MITIO. She was an active participant in the certification committee and later on the national board chair. And of course, we have Dr. Cardona here. What about that picture? Huh? He looks so handsome with this Hawaiian garland, isn't it? Dr. Cardona, you owe me that. The awesome picture that I have. We're gonna talk a little bit about Dr. Cardona's participation back on those years. We have then, to the left, we have my friend and always admired colleague, Orlin Marquez, another amazing professional. It was after his inspiring proposal here in Portland in 2008, during one of the many forums dedicated to national certification program, that the slogan, "Yes, we can and we will," in 2009 originated. He was then president of MIN, Medical Interpreter Network of Georgia, and my boss back then at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. He was the coordinator of Children's Healthcare Interpreting Services. We have down here another colleague of mine, Alejandro Colin, first CMI in Georgia, with another amazing CMI, Andrea Henry, that probably that name is familiar with many of you. She soon will be starting a pilot nationwide regarding her research project about a tool to measure interpreters' fatigue. So keep following her, because this research had been great. It had been taking a lot of years of research to make it really a scientific proof of this tool that is very much needed to measure our fatigue. So keep watching her. We have the right Sergei Levinson. He was our first Russian CMI and one of the first in Canada. That's when we went international. Then we have Maria Teresa Schock, first CMI in Maryland. But in the center of everything that we have here is our great medical interpreter community. All those professionals who have believed in certification as the next step in our profession to demonstrate that we are at the same level of healthcare providers, that we really take seriously patient safety, that we are committed to work as a team, be part of the same medical team to our patients in healthcare. If you are a certified medical interpreter, if you are CHI, if you are RID, please stand up, because you deserve an applause. All certified. Come on, don't be shy. Stand up. An applause to all of you. Congratulations. You are celebrating, or we all are celebrating 10 years. We have here another great picture. This picture shows a meeting of subject matter experts vetting the certification exam. Dr. Cardona is in the picture. Maybe you don't recognize her because he doesn't have his Hawaiian garland, but he is there working hard. Shortly after launching certification for Spanish, the National Board was awarded a grant by the Oregon Office of Multicultural Health and Services for the development of the oral certification exam in 5 additional languages: Russian, Mandarin, Korean, Vietnamese, and Cantonese. This grant was thanks to the work of Dr. David Cardona, who was then the Oregon Healthcare Interpreter Program Coordinator and then the Language Access Coordinator for the state of Oregon. OHA, Office of the Equity and Inclusion. He helped implement the Oregon law that requires all healthcare interpreters to register, qualify, and pursue certification, and is in charge of the language access policy development and implementation. He is now the president of IMIA, as you know, and served as bilingual proficiency standard policy coordinator, Office of Human Resources, Oregon Health Authority, State of Oregon. Thank you so much, Dr. Cardona. Really. Then and now, your contribution, cooperation, and leadership inspire the actions, beliefs, values, and goals of the National Board and IMIA. But what now? We are at the present, 10 years have come, and it's a good place to reflect what lies ahead. It's a clamor everywhere we go when we are represented the National Board that many interpreters come to us asking, when are you gonna create a certification for my language? Is there anything that you are planning to do to expand certifications or any type of a qualification or something for all the language that we are waiting and ready to get certified, but you are not coming up with anything else? While expanding our certification is a very important issue, the reality is that this is a very costly and time-consuming process to create new language-specific exams. Certainly, we need grants and grants writers to access these funds. If you are a grant writer, please consider volunteer your talent to the National Board. In the meantime, there are many aspects we need to evaluate. Prerequisites, age, many say 18 years old to certified as a medical interpreter is too young to get into what it takes to be a certified interpreter. Maybe we need to add experience. I remember when I got certified, they were requiring 1 year of experience doing performing as professional and medical interpreter. So what else? Do we need to add anything else? Do we need really to review? Interpreters training hours is another consideration. Many consider that 40 hours is not enough, that we need really more training. 60, 80 hours, more training are required. What about practicum programs? What about if we add, instead of more hours of the education and training, maybe we need practicum. Maybe we need to take those students to the hospitals and shadow. Healthcare is, in training hospital, is full of shadowing professionals looking each other to see how they get the experience of others through viewing what it takes to be there. So we are thinking in Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, in our hospital, that we would like to create a practicum, that we would love to partner with training companies and universities to take those students to our hospital and watch us interpreters to work. We think that this is needed for many young people that are just getting certified and see what it takes what is a medical interpreter entitles. Maybe is that what is needed for them to realize, yes, it is the profession that I want, or maybe I need to go to legal or other area. Supporting our local association and interpreter trainings program is our responsibility. Have you heard about Carmelina's Cadena programs? She's an Acateco and Canjubao interpreter, and she has a training company for Mayan languages. She has a program for high school bilingual students. Those English and Mayan language students that are here in our high school, and she's willing to travel or send teachers to wherever they are if she has a group of 10 to teach them how to become an interpreter or medical interpreter. There is so much need for Mayan language interpreters in our community. And we ended up many times just interpreting in Spanish for them, but I still think that we need more, to do more for those communities everywhere in the country. So there is a movement lately that I searched in internet in high school students. There are many programs being incorporated in high school to train in healthcare, some short careers in healthcare for those students that have limited access to college, to incorporate them to work in healthcare. And medical interpreter is one of the areas that is hot now in high school. So I am amazed seeing that this is a reality, that we're gonna have more interpreters to high school. That's wonderful, and that's what we want to support. These new movements of training starting in high school now. We need more interpreters nationwide to advocate for certification as a requirement of practice. It's gonna be great if someday we reach that for everywhere in the country. If you are a medical interpreter, you need to be certified to work. And following that idea, the most important project the National Board and IMIA are working on is the new credential that we are calling Pro-QMI. So we had been working on this for several years now, and we know there is a need, a credential that will be in addition to the certification for medical interpreter program, beside this certification for the 6 languages that we have today, Spanish, Russian, Mandarin, Cantonese, Korean, and Vietnamese, to cover the need to include more languages in another program that will have just the oral portion of the test. This will be a game changer for many qualified interpreters out there, making a great difference for them that are waiting for accreditation in their languages. We already started requesting the information for those test developers, companies, and we are pointing for a minimum of 35 languages. These languages should include the top 20 languages of rated diffusion, excluding, of course, that we already certified, and in addition, additional 20 languages of lesser diffusion. If possible, the IMIA National Board is seeking these additional languages: Bosnian, Karen, Portuguese, Swahili, Somali, Arabic, Farsi, Tagalog, French, Italian, German, Haitian Creole, Hindu, Polish, Urdu, Japanese, Hmong. Oh my goodness, there are so many. Our hope is by mid-2020, we have a structure and definite plan in place ready to be launched. So we are keeping the slogan, Yes, we can, and we will in 2020. So be in the lookout, because this is gonna be a really huge change for many that are ready to get certified, but that we don't have no CHI, no the National Board certification, any other credential. CHI has, of course, a core CHI, and this is gonna be some type of similar program because it's gonna be inclusive for many, many other languages. So what else you can do in the meantime while we are getting to this? Well, be proud of your certification. Be proud of what you do to the community in healthcare, to our patients, for patient safety. Be there and support your local association. Be there for those trainers that needs more support. Start teaching. Start showing your credential. You don't know how many things that I've been experiencing showing my credential. This is my badge that I work at work, because I have my children's badge and I have in the other my national board badge. And sometimes it gets flipped. And many nurses, what is that? It's not children. Oh, no, that's my national board certification badge. And they say, are you certified? Yes, I am certified, like you probably are. Oh yes, and you have to continue education, and you have to go to all this training. Yes, I have. Yes, the same as you. Oh my goodness, so you do the same thing. Yes, I do. So they realize that you are as professional as they are, that you are under the same scrutiny, that you have to be professional, and you have to the continued education, that you have to meet all those requirements. That yes, you are at their level. So I like that these flips from time to time, because that is the opportunity to me to demonstrate them that yes, we are part of the healthcare team. So I don't know if you have any question about the past, but that's pretty much what I have. This is a short presentation just to celebrate really our 10 years that have gone, and hopefully we're gonna celebrate many, many more with this credential coming up, the ProQMI, and thank you so much for being today. Any question? Go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm wondering if you have a sense for what is the actual need of medical interpreters, certified medical interpreters, both in Oregon and across the nation.
Well, we know that there are many needs, because in my experience, representing the national board in many conferences across the nation, many interpreters come to me saying, you know, that still in my hospital, we see that they use family members, as Dr. Cardona was mentioning. This year, 2019, there is still many hospitals, maybe in rural areas, more in the cities, but they're still using, you know, ad hoc interpreters, whoever is coming. I work as a PRI interpreter, and one day the screen came up and there was a child, maybe 15 years old child, with a mother who was having a baby. She had a C-section, I don't see anything, but her little head and the boy beside, so I was like, and the doctor came and said, oh, thank you, we decided to try to with you because the boy, you know, he's not that good, interpreter for mom. So I was like, thanks God, you know, it's finally come to you that this child is not qualified to do the interpretation for mom in a C-section. So we know, but sensing the comments from many interpreters that are fighting in her local rural community to be recognized, to be used, but still there is, because there are not many interpreters. Let's come back again for how many interpreters we need. We need many, many more everywhere. Because that way they can not say, because we don't have interpreters in our community, we need to do whatever. We need to use what we have. It's better to use one something instead of nothing. So let me grab the child, let me grab whoever I have, let me grab the auntie or whoever to interpreter for the surgeon who's gonna be doing brain surgery. That's better than nothing. But really better than nothing is to have a qualified interpreter at least, or a certified better yet on your hand. We know that there is a many needs. We don't have the numbers, maybe there are more studies, counting the really needs by a state. I don't have that data, but you bring a very interesting point, because maybe we can search more and more how much in different states the needs are. Thank you for your question.
Yes, I have a question in regards to the QMI that you mentioned with the additional 35 languages. So do you know, at this point that would be a national qualification, just like for the 6 languages there's a national certification. This would be a national qualification. Do you know what that would look like in Oregon, how would those be recognized?
We don't have really numbers yet. We are just starting the phase where we are asking the companies out there to propose to us preparing an oral test for those languages. So we don't know by state yet how the impact's gonna be, but we know that many interpreters are still waiting, because by languages, maybe we can quantify the needs if we know by a state the need of the certification or qualifications by languages. I don't know. Oregon is a really big community of different languages besides English, so I guess it's gonna be really accepted and really a good state to piloting, but I don't know the numbers yet. Maybe Dr. Cardona has more information about the needs here for different languages.
Yeah, thank you for your question. It seems like the question comes in regard to the differences between the qualification requirements from the national board versus the qualification requirements of the state of Oregon. I'm assuming that that's the reason.
How those are going to be able to mirror or combine?
Yes, so those are some areas that we're working to make it work, because the training requirements for the national, it will remain at 40 hours, I'm assuming, right? But the state requirements are 60 hours, 64 hours. So we need to reconcile that in some shape or form. So we have a colleague here from the Oregon Health Authority, the new language access coordinator and healthcare interpreter program, and we will be working with the office to see how we can reconcile our qualification from the national board with the qualification requirement of the state of Oregon. But as she's saying, that we will go on state by state, because there are many states that are putting the different requirements. So we have to somehow reconcile with each state to make sure that we're in compliance with their needs and the requirements. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cardona. Do you have another question?
Yes, my question was about future. You are talking about having more people prepared, certified, or qualified in the future by 2020. And you are also talking about the, let's say, the competence, like ad hoc interpreters. My question would be about, what about technology? Nowadays, even in other fields, they are using simultaneous translations. So is that a problem for the field? Or?
Well, yes, technology. Technology is great. Technology is growing too much and accessing our phones all day. I found doctors in the hospital saying, oh, I've been doing this and this is working really well. Oh, Google Translation. This day is huge. Why they don't use this tool when they don't have an interpreter? And I goes, yes, well, it's great, but we know that it's not perfect. It is not even close to perfect, not even for medical interpreter services specifically, because I guess the level of specialty that it requires is not there just for automated translation. So yes, I go more for technology like video remote interpreters, phone interpreters, how this is growing, how accessible a video remote interpreter is through their phone, or how well you can connect with the interpreter, just calling the service in, and then you have the phone interpreter there in your hand wherever you go. I believe more in that because the automated translations in the phone is there, but it's not perfect, not even for traveling. We proved one time that our application in One Travel, what we made, and you can even take a picture of the whatever sign you find to translate, and the translation is poor. It's still this day. So it's not there yet to be used. Maybe in the future, who knows? Everything is changing so much in healthcare for your personal care and things, the many apps that we have, everything is an app, but I don't know if that's gonna grow that fast. Till this day, Google doesn't have any answer yet about any specialty.
So a follow-up question would be, do you think technology is worse right now, simultaneous translation with that blah, 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 I speak Spanish and it goes to English or vice versa, is worse than ad hoc if you compare it right now?
I don't know what is worse, really. I don't know. I think both are worse than using a really qualified and certified interpreter, someone who have the knowledge, you know, it's so complicated. It's like you ask in legal to use an ad hoc interpreter. Legal doesn't allow anything like that because they know that it's not at the level of their need. So I think we need to support and really go there and say, whoever is going to, you know, propose that solution in your face, to say, no, it's not. It's not the same thing. It's not right there. Nothing is good as a certified interpreter there in your place. So to tell you the truth, I don't believe in neither of those. No, I don't like either of that. I don't like the proposal. I always be with the doctors when they say that, no, doctor, no. You don't know how bad it is. Oh, really? Yes, it's bad. So yes, anyone else have any question? Thank you for your question, Maria. Well, thank you so much. Well, I think that you already enjoyed your lunch. Thank you.